You never know what's going to happen when you start carving dead wood. Um, I had thought that this whole area was just going to become one sort of nondescript hollow, but as is always the case, when you work your way into the wood with a high-speed carving tool, in this case just using a simple open-faced bit, what happens is you find that within the wood there are two kinds of guides. One of them is the growth rings, which you can see, and then the other is the varying densities of wood. And I've found over time that it's always wise to carve away the softer wood and leave the hardest wood alone. And what that often does, probably more often than not, is it exposes attractive shapes within the wood that kind of help to tell the story of the plant. So here, my original plan was to start with the area where I cut off the first branch in the first video of this series, and just kind of create a hollow down to the very base. But as I don't know how easy it is to see. I think in this video you will be able to see growth rings and some of the shapes. Most of these shapes are not introduced by me. They're already pre-existing within the wood. But the carving techniques I use, which is mostly to attack with a very light hand until I've got kind of a feel for the wood, and then go after the softer parts and really try to follow the contours that exist within the wood. These techniques will allow me to expose anything of interest that happens to be within the wood, and I will say that over a period of time I've learned that exposing what's already in the wood is always going to be more effective and more attractive than imposing my will on the wood and creating whatever shapes happen to pop up in my head. I don't know if anybody who listens to this video or watches this video will be familiar with some of the writing schools around the time of World War I and World War II, but there was quite a bit of interest in something that was called automatic writing. Samuel Beckett was interested in it, and there were others. I'm sure if you look it up you'll find information on it. But in some ways this kind of carving, I would say, is like automatic carving. I'm not trying to release the David within the marble. I'm simply trying to follow the lines and follow the wood density to expose what's happened over a very long time within this trunk. So here it is as of today. Once again, I have to keep repeating, this is still only sketching. I won't actually begin to really refine it and try to smooth it out until I'm very, very comfortable with the shapes. But I do feel like this afternoon's little discovery carving led to some nice things, and so I'm feeling pretty good about that.